Childeming says test. Michael says test. Douglas Dark says good evening.
It's a Douglas. What's up, Doug? One sec, guys. We have got the vibes set. Nice. Perfect timing.
You made for learning programming. I am jealous.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome, Physics Story. Physics Story. Physics Story. I like that name. That's cool. Welcome in, dude. How's it going? I've never yet. You're new here in the chat. I appreciate you for coming in. You're funny. All right, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Feeling good. Feeling great. We got the beautiful Oregon coast here. We got the beautiful Oregon coast here. My homeland. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. Thank you, truly. You know what it is, Nippon. Come on, you know exactly what it is. You know what it is. Don't play dumb. You know what's going on. All right, guys. Let's get into the stream today. Without further ado, let's just jump right in. Let's not waste no time.
Tim says, can you elaborate on that, Mike?
There's nothing to elaborate on. It's fairly self-explanatory. Maybe your mom could tell you. Ah! Ah! Got him. Let's go. All right. Welcome back, you guys.
Physics Story says semen retention makes you a
god. Chill. We got the TTS on. Chill.
Talk about today. Physics Story says I opened my Kundalini.
All right. We got chill while we got the TTS on. Chill. This ain't the after hours stream. This ain't the after hours. This is normal hours. This is business hours. All right, guys. Welcome. Appreciate you for coming in. My name is Michael. We're back today, June 17th, teaching ourselves some programming. We got a lot of people jumped in here, 13 of you guys, so let's get 13 likes on the stream right now. Come on, boom, 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 boom. Crank it out. Let's go. We're back doing some LeetCode practice today. So yesterday we did some LeetCode, we did some studying, and then we also did, we built my resume. So I'm also going to do some editing on the resume a little bit later after the LeetCode, and then I think we're going to watch some videos while I start applying for some jobs. Hey Umar, how's it going, dude? Welcome back. I appreciate you for joining me here. Yeah, join my Discord if you're starting out. It's completely free. I've learned programming completely free of charge. Every resource I've used, I've provided for you guys as well. Maybe one day. After we land the dev job, right?
Mohan says, Mike, tell us how you found people to hand out the resume.
To hand out the resume, I just LinkedIn, dude. LinkedIn, apply on the job board, man. It's got a pretty good algorithm for finding stuff that you might be qualified for, and just start fucking, letting that stuff fly. All right, you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's get going here. All right, let's pick one. Come on, don't give me a hard one. Don't give me a hard one. Clutch. We got an easy one today, boys. Clutch. Oh, the chicken nuggies are done. I'll be right back. Hold up.
Omar says, what should I start first? HTML, C or C++ or anything else? Tim says, Mike, can you cook at all, or is it just takeout and chicken nuggets?
Yo, Tim, come on, don't call me out like that. Come on, Tim. You've been
says,
here long enough. All right, you guys. Tim, no, I don't cook. Well, I can, but I rarely do. It's just not worth it, dude. Everything I make tastes like crap. And the time it takes to cook it and clean it up, it's just, you know, it's bust. All right. Woo! 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 Oh, ha! Woo! Sheesh! Okay, here we go. We just got a random one. We got lucky here, Mahan. Hey, Dragon, welcome in. All right, you guys are on the stream. Leave a like, leave a sub. Let's get into this.
Their orange chicken and fried rice is fire. Umar says, what should I start first? HTML, C or C++ or anything else?
Yeah, I started with Python. I started with Harvard CS50P. That's my first ever introduction to Python about 1 year ago. I took it very part-time over the summer last year. And then I started reading Python Crash Course. And I started reading that live on stream. That's when I created the stream. And then after I finished that book, I started doing daily sessions where I started reading DSA in Python, and that helped take me to the next level, further expanding my knowledge in data structures and just Python in general, and understanding, using the Python tools that I learned, dictionaries and stuff, to merge them into these data structure objects, and it really helped to tie it together. Yes, it was very challenging at first to get into that book because it's so dense, but you know, it was very well worth it to push through those first couple of chapters, because, you know, I was able to really expand on my knowledge. Yeah, so I have a screening, you guys. So last night we were working on my resume, right? We were working on the resume. I have a couple of corrections to make to it that I'm going to make after the LeetCode. But I have a screening on Friday for a chemist position. We'll see how that goes. A dev software engineer chemist. Python Crash Course. Just join my Discord link down below completely for free. It's got a complete roadmap of my learning journey. I haven't spent a single dollar. Actually, I did buy this book, but it's free online. There's resources online. I bought the physical copy because I wanted it. I wanted to support the author. You always should support the authors. He's a good guy. All right, here we go. You're given an array of strings, words, and a string chars. Okay, wait. You're given an array of string words and a string chars. Okay, well, we're given a list of words and just a single string of characters. A string is good if it can be formed from characters from chars. Got you. Each character can only be used once for each word in chars. Return the sum of lengths of all good strings in words. This is interesting. Okay, so you have these valid chars that you can only pick from to create these strings. And if you can't do that, then it's not valid, and you can't, and you're summing the length here as a little tidbit. So for instance,
and what about nuggets and some here too?
Oh, Costco nugs, guys. It's like $20 for a huge bag. Honestly, the best bang for your buck. They taste pretty much 1-to-1 with Chick-fil-A. Pretty close for the air fryer. So Costco Kirkland chicken nug. I'm currently throwing on some T-Bell hot sauce. All right. I do need a drink. Gotta have a bev, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. Got my bev. Got the lemony. The lemonade. I'm 26. Getting up there. I don't feel 26. I honestly feel like 23, 22. All right. Okay. So we can easily access. Okay, so we have to do this like forward, and let's go like this. Let's create a map, or let's go. Let's do this. Let's be creative here. Let's do what Python wants us to do. Let's import collections, and let's call collections.count. I believe is the object we want to use, and let's call it count on. Oh, let's see. I need to look up collections.count. Oh, counter is about. So this just does this for us basically. Okay, cool. So we can just call count on chars, because chars are iterable, so I think that'll work. Counter. Just to be safe, let me say this is gonna be our chars map equals to this. Let me call a print on chars map here, just to see what I'm outputting here, if I'm getting this right. Ah, look at that, getting the counter. Cool. So the thing is it's interesting because do we want to, can we, like if they only give, if chars, like listen to this guys, if chars is only one T, can we reuse the same T over and over again? Or does by using a letter in char, it eliminates the char? That's my only question. I think it's reusable because, well, all these have one T, so, and one A, so, and these has two A's. None have two C's in them. Hello, this has two L's, two E's. Two E's is valid. Three E's even is valid. One O, that was valid. One OR, one R is valid. Okay, so I think we can, I'm gonna assume we can reuse street chars. So can I go like this and say forward inward? For char in word. If char in chars map, if it's not in, let's say, we're going to break out of this. This is not valid. Else, if it is, we're going to take the length of the word, and we're going to, out here, we're going to have a result equal to 0. Let's just go result plus equal the length of that word. And then, do we need to do anything after we move on from this word? No, this is doing it on the char. So if the char is not in, we break. Else we'll just move on if it is. So then let's move this out back here. And so after we do this, we'll say, let me say valid equals to false. Let me say if char, I'm gonna say, no, set valid equal to true out front. So let's set a flag out front. Then let's go. Yo, what? Fluffy, thanks, dude. I appreciate the love. That's so kind, man. That's so awesome. Let's give some hearts and love for Luffy here in the chat, dude. Wow. Anyone, what is that currency? Dude, you are champ. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much for everybody. Let's go. Thank you so much, man. You made my day. I'm blushing over here. You made my day. I'm grinning cheek to cheek, man. You got me cheek to cheek. I'm grinning. Ah, come on. Oh, thank you. Okay. Is it really? Well, I appreciate the love anyway. That's rupees? That's awesome. No, I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for the rupees. That's so cool. Maybe I'll cash them out as actual rupees. That'd be cool, right? Oh, thanks so much, dude. Wow, he's hit me with another one. He's coming through. Luffy with the train. Dono train. Here we go. Here we go. They call me a real streamer now, man. Look at me. Hey, Big Task, what's going, man? We're learning Python at the moment. Well, we're learning anything. More like mainly just learning computer science, really. That's kind of what I'm learning. But obviously for the jobs and stuff, you got to learn the algos here. Okay, so we need to then, what we'll do here is for word in words. Let's go, yeah, feeling good, man. Thank you so much. You're awesome, man. Okay, so for word in words, once we get a word, we're going to take a copy of char's map. So let's go. Can I take a copy of a dictionary by doing this notation like I would a list? I don't know. I don't think this is valid. Let's look up copy a dict with. No, you can't directly copy a dict with this. Why it doesn't work for dictionaries? This is slice notation with like, okay, so. Oh, okay, we just use the copy method. Oh, okay, so there's a copy method. We'll go with char's map. We'll say copy equals this, right? So we'll take a copy of the char's map for every word that we create, or that we take. And then I'm going to say for char in word, I'm going to say copy.get the char, right? Right. So actually, we'll take this down here. Hold on, I'll answer your guys' questions in 1 second. Let me get my my train of thought out here. Trying to get this. So if the char is not in char's map, we're going to go ahead and get the current value out of our copy map, basically. And we'll say so then we'll get this else. So we'll get it. That means we have a value. So this will be I'm gonna say count is equal to this, and then I'm gonna say if count greater than 0, then we're going to, okay, hold on. So I need to say this is if it's in, okay, for char in word. If char is in the char's map, screen toggle mode? What, are you talking to me? I'm not sure. Okay, hold on. Let me turn. I gotta turn off TTS here. I gotta focus. I'll answer chats here after. Give me 1 sec. Okay. So for word in words, we're going to access every char in the word. we pick up a word, we analyze the char. So that is still linear. Like we're going over every value linearly, right? Even though we're just picking up sections at a time. Like it's still like a linear algorithm. It's just like you jump. It's just not like as smooth technically in terms of like a single loop. I don't know, but it's not back looping over data. So it's the only thing. So I think this is okay. I think it's still linear. Oh, Ben, let me know if I'm wrong. Okay, so if char is in the char's map, then we're going to get the count of the current char. If the count is greater than 0, what we're going to do is, right, if the count is greater than 0, then we're going to reduce count by 1, right? And this is valid, right? So we've done it, and so we're going to set valid remains true. Okay, so this is a valid. So we'll say valid is, I'll keep this, right? True. And then I'll say valid is equal to true. So valid gets set equal to true for that character, okay? That we reduce the count down by. Okay, so then else, so if the count is not greater than or equal to 0, meaning we don't have an available count for this char to actually, evaluate that this char is, real. Like for instance, if we had 2 t's in cat with 2 t's, that wouldn't be valid because we only have 1 t to choose from. So, if else, we'll say, so this is invalid. So we're going to set valid equal to false here, and then we're going to break out of this word, out of this evaluation for every char, right? Loop here. So now we'll be evaluating back onto the word here. And so what we'll say, if valid, then we're going to take the length of word and add this to res plus equal length of word. Okay, so what is going on here? Let's think. So we have a result that we're adding to, which is the length of valid words. Okay, we're going over every word in the words list. We are then creating a copy of the char's map to evaluate each word individually, right? We need to create a copy of the char's map because we need to reduce down the counters from the original, but we don't want to replace the original with the reduced down because then we can't evaluate the next word. So we get the copy on accessing a word. We say for every character in that word, if the character is in the char's map, right, it's valid. So it's technically valid. Now we need to do another check to see if it is has a count greater than 0, right? So and then we get the count of that char. If the count is greater than 0, then we reduce the count by 1, meaning that we accepted that as valid, and then we override this. We keep valid as valid. Else, right, if the count is less than 0 or 0, then we set valid to false and break here. So on evaluating after every word, if valid remains valid, then we can go ahead and add the result. And then we will just return the result after this loop. Let's try it. Oh, tough. Okay, so we got double there. Okay, so I think maybe it's our logic here for So we get the word here. So we're inside of this loop. So then let's go ahead and interesting. Okay, so maybe we should go ahead and debug it in our Python, because it's kind of a lot going on. Okay, let's think. So we're getting a word. So we're evaluating cat. We're going over copy. Okay, oh, we're not updating the count of the actual value. Okay, so we got to go count less than 1, copy index of char is going to be equal to updated of count. Okay, I think that might do it. Dang it, no. Okay, hold up. The song's kind of trash. This was good. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we're getting a word, we're evaluating cat, we're going over the C. Let me go here and print. Let me sort of print word here. Okay, so it was always valid. Okay, that's what's going on here. Okay, we're getting every word. Okay, so it's our valid logic here. So if valid, so this sets valid to false. If count, we set it to false and we break out of this loop because this word, oh, else let's break, no, else set valid to false, break out of this loop, which is evaluating the chars in this word. If valid, so it should be set to false here. But each word is getting passed as true. Interesting. Okay, so then let's see. We're having this loop is evaluating each char in the word. If the char is in the chars map, we're going to get the count of it out of the copy. So let's just get rid of this logic here. If it's not in there, oh, okay, that's what's happening. Okay, we don't have an else here to right, if chars map char in chars map elf, if it's not, we're going to say this is valid equals to false, and we're going to break here as well, because each char was in the chars map originally. Well, B wasn't, but nothing was happening to valid at that case, and it was still valid, so it was still printing the length of the word. Hey, come on. Oh, okay, looks like there's a faster solution here. Interesting. Asking an Indian. Y'all trolling in chat. You guys are trolling. Alright. Okay. Maybe we should let's not loop over our chars and create a dictionary. Let's instead count as we loop over originally and then evaluate chars from there and compare those. So let's go like this. Let's instead for char or for word in words, right, we're gonna get a word. So I'm going to say counts is equal to a list here. I'm going to call the collections dot counter, right, on the word itself, right, and then this is going to be count is equal to this, and I'm going to append count dot append the count here. So we're going to get a counter of each word as we loop through the words, just as we go once through. And then we just need to do this once for char in chars. Let's go ahead and call the counter equals to the collections dot counter on the word, and then or on the char. No, we just gotta go like this. Count chars counter equals to collections dot counter on chars, and then we say we'll go up here. We'll do this at the start. Ooh, this is interesting. Actually, we don't need this. We don't need this. We'll say I think we can go like this and then say evaluate this counter. Say if counter so how can I say like if this counter is also a piece of this? There's a way to do this. Like if counter, is it like this? Oh, what's my Fluent Python? Remember? Let's open up Fluent Python. If you guys remember reading back in the day, back in the day, because I haven't read my books in so long, because I'm a slacker. So I remember there's dictionary, data structures, dictionaries. So there's a way to merge, or like, not merge, but standard mappings. No, it's a little bit more of the complex stuff. Where was it? A chain map helps a list of mapping search as one you look up performed. want a chain map. I thought there was a way to... Here's the counter. So now that I have... Okay, so if I... Let's think. I have a charge counter, and then I'm getting a counter. So now if I can evaluate... Can I go... Charge counter less? Collections counter. Can I do this? Like if that's possible, can you reduce two counters? If this, take the length of the word and an increased result. Right? And then at the end of this, else it's not. So just move on to the next word. Return result. I'm not sure if this works. No. Oh, this is doing that though. If charge counter less than counter. No, I mean, I was just trying to see if there's a way that we could mathematically reduce the counter of the word from the charge counter and say if, let me go here, let me say print, let me do this. Let me do this really quick. I just want to see what I print. My vote. You have one A and one H left. Okay, you used a C. Okay, yeah, this tells you what you have left. So if you have values left. Okay, so it was kind of doing what I wanted, but it actually, that isn't kind of the correct way of thinking about it. Because if it has values left, well, that doesn't exactly tell you if one of them wasn't in there, right? Because it would just not have, it would just kind of be like a null. It would be like not, just like nothing happened on it, basically, right? So let's think here. So that means that we're going to have to check the letters of the word because the subtraction does do what I wanted, but it isn't actually doing what I was intentionally, what I actually wanted, which was throwing like a flag basically if it can't do the reduction, right? It's interesting because it just bypasses values that aren't in there. Like it doesn't set them to negative. So what if I do this? Hey, thanks for the follow. Oh, raid, here we go. Hey, oh, We're popping off here. Thank you guys for joining me. My name is Mike. Appreciate you guys being here. Solving this LeetCode here. We solved it earlier. We were a little bit slow on our solution earlier, right? We're trying to optimize it here a little bit faster. So now what I'm trying to do is just do a single collection on each word. Oh, here we go. We gotta follow. We gotta follow. All right, I'll pass it on. Thanks for the follow, dude. Thanks for the trade. I appreciate you guys being here. My name's Michael. I'm 26 years old. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I've been teaching myself how to code for about a year. We got some cool projects out like SpectroSim. Let me show you guys that real quick. SpectroSim, right, where you can simulate the free host is on render, so this is going to take a while. It's not my fault. It's render.com. If I want it to be faster, I got to pay for it. So we'll come back in just a second. But we're actually starting to get ready to apply for jobs. Yesterday we were shilling out the resume, starting to build it up. But okay, so we're going to have to. Now I wonder though. Let me do this. So let's go ahead and. What if I take the counter and less it from char's counter? Will I get a negative now will I get values now on temp that aren't in? Let's see what I want to, I want to see what we get here. Ah, okay, so we do get, interesting. Okay, so if counter then, it's valid. If it's not, okay, that's what I wanted. So if you just inverse it, here we go. I think we're cooking. I could be wrong though. We'll find out. Okay. So let's say if temp, right, then we're going to do this. Oh, if not temp, like if there's nothing in temp. Oh, let's freaking go. Cooking! Oh, really slow. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, brutal. Interesting. I wonder if it's by taking the collection on the word is slowing us down. All right, we got two solutions now. One is pretty good. One is pretty freaking bad. All right, so that's better than no solutions. I'm that's that. Two can be as bad as one. Hold up, chicken nugget. Yeah, dude. Everything is public. Everything of mine is public. MichaelDeming.com. Go to my website. You can see all my projects. I need to update this one. I got to make a video. So, I'm sorry. I still got to make a video. I just launched it last week or 2 weeks ago. Oh, there we go. This is my project. So, this is SpectroSim, guys. So, for those that are new here, I wrote this project about 2 weeks, or about, I wrote this project about, I launched it about a week ago, but for the past like 3 weeks, I've been writing it. And so what I am doing is I'm tapping into PubChem database, which is an online chemistry compound database with millions of compounds, 121 million compounds, tons of stuff. And so what I'm doing is I'm using their REST API to access a name. If that name becomes successful, I use a custom parsing algorithm or just script I wrote, I guess, to get some spectral information from that response that I got using requests, right? So I was able to actually extract out the UV spectrum data from various compounds given this API, and then what I'm doing is I'm caching those compounds in a custom way, and then clearing those compound caches on various. No, I didn't use any AI, man, for that. I swear. You can go back and watch the streams. I mean, I prompt the AI to ask for help when I need it for like to understand concepts and stuff. But I write pretty much about 98% of my code myself. 99. That's what I try to do here. Okay, so and then what you're doing is you can generate the plot using Plotly.js here on the front end to actually generate the Gaussian distributions for the spectrum data here, which is really nice. And so we actually have multiple peaks that we're representing here for the spectrum data, and then it provides its maximums here, which is really nice. So we can look up like benzene here. Boom. You get a nice description, generated absorption. You can download it too. Boom. It's really cool. Or we'll say salad. That's doing like my contacts. There we go. You can download, right? Looks really nice. Looks really nice. Got some animations here, which is pretty cool. And then on mobile view, it kind of just doesn't do the animations. You have a drop-down menu. It's pretty nice. I like it so far. This is our, and then we're going to add some more simulations here, which is cool. All right. Django, no, I did it with Fast API and Python, and then I'm serving plots and creating plots with Plotly.js with React and Tailwind for the styling. So it's pretty cool. This is my project, and then I also have another project, chromaplot.com. See, render.com is so slow for their free tier. I think I'm not going to use it anymore. Like, I think I've learned my lesson. See, for this, render.com is completely hosting my chromaplot, which it just is torching me here. But my backend for my SpectroSim is hosted on render.com. My front end is on Vercel, so I think I'm gonna need to figure out a new backend host because render.com sucks. Let me turn back on there. We got a lot of people here. We got over 60 people watching right now. Holy cow. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are awesome. Yeah, so this is my chroma plot where you can generate plots, which is really nice. So you can like say, let's hit test 1 with a RF of 5, or 0.5, let's say RF, oops, my bad, 0.5. Test 2 was, or, oh my gosh, come on, Mike. Test 2.3, test 3.1, let's say test 4.8, and test 5 was let's say 7.3. So if you run this simulation, it's going to take a little bit because render.com. But this one's interesting. This one's also partially my fault because I'm doing the entire plot generation and serving GIFs via my backend. And so I did an optimization for my SpectroSim. I learned my lesson, and I started rendering my plots on the front end. But render.com still, cockblocks me here. So let's get another chicken nug here. Oh. See, it's brutal. Render.com is brutal. We'll come back. But yeah, this is my site here. We made this with React and just raw CSS. I need to probably do an update on this one soon with Tailwind. Oh, do we have a plot? Here we go. So yeah, you can see the solvent at 100% speed. And then these compounds, I have this kind of algorithm here that kind of has this clumping kind of attribute toward it. It kind of mimics this like liquid traveling up this medium for this like visual chromatography simulation. No, I used the free version. That's why it's so slow. They're bottlenecking me, man. They are really trying to get me to fork over some dollars. Do you like Vercel? Yeah, for what it was, I mean, I've only hosted just my front end of SpectraSim on there, so that's all I've got on there. But for more projects, I'm probably going to use it. But I gotta I think I've got to convert out of this render.com. It's wrecking me. Python anywhere.
Cobble Master says, why don't you write your own code from scratch?
What do you mean? We do. Okay. Okay. So I think that this might be slowing us down here.
Chairman says, if there is something you don't like, let me know if I can help in any way.
So let's do this. Let's say
Chairman says, I work for some.
charge counter dot get. Oh shoot, we're gonna have to get. Okay, so let's go for char. No, we did with a counter. So we can say for key. We'll say for char and count in counter dot items. We can just go ahead and say
Tim says, Mike, I think we're ready to move on to the your mom portion of the stream.
yeah, of course you want to see that, you sick nasty. We'll go but the thing is I have to update it. So if I get the char,
This way and says, hey.
so let me get the char and the count. And if the count for every char, if char in char's counter and char's counter dot get char greater than or equal to the count, then we will say that this is true. So res plus equals the length of the word, and then return res. Okay, so for every char and the count, right, in the counter.items, if the char is in the char's counter, right, then we're going to go ahead and get the char value, and if that count is greater than or equal to the count of the word itself that we're iterating over, then we can say this is valid, I think. Hey, Bizwine, how's it going, dude? Brutal. Ooh. Okay, maybe it's our logic here. Let's go like this. If char's in counter, we're going to say word. If char in char's counter. If chars dot get char, which is the count of this, zero.
Cobble Master says, I don't think you even need counter, it might make your code slow.
Yeah. that's probably doing an iteration itself as well, right? So let's go for char and count. So I need to copy then. I'm live, dude. I'm live. So I need a copy then, though, right? On every word, I have to take a copy to reduce down the char's count, like I was doing before. But that's like my same algorithm as before, no? Yeah. Interesting. Ah, okay, so then how can we make this thing faster? I gotta go faster. I gotta go faster. So what if I take the length of the word at the start, have this be equal to n within here, say for I in range of n, right, which we're accessing every character of the word. I need to reset it back. That's the thing. So I've already done that. That was this solution here, where I take the copy and then I reduce down the values for the counts basically, and then return that, and it was not, you know, optimal. So like, what way can we instead well, this has a maximum of 3 characters, right? So we know that this for 1 will fit within the length of the chars. So if the length right away is greater than char's length, then it's not valid because it has too many characters. Right, if you say if the length of the word, I mean, this doesn't really help our case here, is greater than.
I think you can take the current word and check if the whole word can be created with the chars and only save in an array.
You can take the current words, check if the whole word can be created with the chars. Take the current word and check if the whole word can be created with the chars.
Centrified says, use dot split.
Split. Split on what? Space? Split. What would split do here?
Douglas says, nice buddy.
Hey, Douglas.
Haxxer492 says you're really close. Small help is to go back to the second sentence of the problem, where a good string is only valid if each char is unique.
Yeah, I'm AI, right? Here's my my 4 fingers. There you go. I'll do like that. That's AI, right? I mean, yeah, that's what we've already done, basically. Right. Hey, Axe. Someone's fire alarm's going off. Yeah, I'll think I haven't. Dude, we've already solved this, guys. If you guys are just popping anyway, it's already been solved. We're just trying to see if we can optimize it to this guy here. Whatever they're getting, we're trying to see. Oh, we can click on the answers. So you do create a map. Is this not our algorithm? Bro, I took the copy. That's their solution? Holy cow. Ah. That's the only difference, right? This is literally our algorithm. This is literally our algorithm right here. I'm copying the collection map here. But they're just doing it by default with the get method. This is what I was doing before, but I wanted to try the collections map counter because I see a lot of people on TikTok or on YouTube Shorts. I don't have TikTok. YouTube Shorts. Those little Python gurus be like, "Did you know about the collections counter module?" Squilliam, did you know about the collections counter module? Squilliam. Do they have a SpongeBob for the international folks out there? Okay, let's see. Do we get? I think let's just do it ourselves here. So we'll go for char. Char's counter index of key of char is equal to char's counter key of char. Oh no, char's counter. Sorry. Dot get char else 0 plus 1 here. Okay, so this will basically automatically create a counter for us, getting, if it's there, increasing it by 1 no matter what, but if it's not there, having a default of 0. Oh, this is that other, whoops. Let's take this out of here. Let's go to my, I'm going to take, get rid of this. This is my other algorithm. Char's map. Mexican SpongeBob. They have a SpongeBob that's translated like that. Oh, come on. Man, we had the top solution the whole time. LeetCode's trolling, man. Man, we got like 60 people in here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me here. All right, we had the top solution the entire time. We were using the collections module to do the counter when instead we could just use the get.
Wait, it's all a hash map. Always has been.
It's always has been. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, that was that. Hey, dude. All right, let's get caught up on the chat. My bad, you guys. All right. Hey, Blake Hill, how's it going, dude? Welcome in. Aiden Assad, welcome back in, dude. It's been a while. Why are you learning Python? Hey, Lekraj, appreciate you coming in. Yeah, Aiden, we're still grinding this. Or Adon, yeah, respect. Hey, main purpose of learning. Hey, main purpose of learning programming as a biochemist. Respect asked me main purpose of learning programming as a biochemist, just to continue learning. You know, I felt myself after college. My first like year and a half after college, I really didn't do like any independent studying. I just took like a veg break and just I got my job and I was just grinding and playing video games after work and playing guitar, and yeah, it was fun and like it was, you know, it was what I wanted to do at the time. But then I kind of had like a look in the mirror and I was like, man, like I'm really starting to like forget a lot of the stuff I learned back in college. Like I'm not applying it anymore, and so once you do that, it really starts to fade out quick. So I was like, man, I paid a lot of money for that degree. I don't want to lose all that information. So I was like, well, now do I want to go relearn all of that chemistry? Or like, you know, I do know a lot of it still, but like a lot of that, like, you know, more advanced, like, do I need to go back and refresh my memory on some of that stuff? Or would I be better served trying to learn something new? And I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's try to learn something new. So I was like, I've always wanted to learn programming. I've always been into computers. I built my own little gaming computer when I was like 13 back in 20 whatever that is, 2010, 2012, 2013. If I would have bought Nvidia stock instead of the GTX 1060 or 1070 that I bought back then, I would be living nice right now. Let me tell you, if I would have put that money, dude, even that money would have been a crazy turnover into the stock instead of buying that graphics card or making my mom buy me that graphics card back in the day. Bless up to her. For real, right? Anyways, but I had that look in the mirror, and so I sold my gaming PC, and I was like, I'm gonna commit myself to learn your programming. I sold my gaming PC. I bought a MacBook to force myself to, if I'm gonna buy a MacBook and pay that kind of that cheese and cheddar, then I'm gonna make myself learn. And I'm tired of procrastinating and being that kind of guy, and saying I'm gonna do it one day. So instead of doing it one day, today is day one. So that's kind of like my little saying I say here sometimes is. I often said, oh, I'll do it one day, but, instead of just doing it one day, why don't you just make today day one? So it's pretty cool. Uh, and ever since then, I haven't looked back, and I've been teaching myself code, building projects, solving LeetCode. So this was our, I believe, 81st problem. Nice. Oh. Yeah, just go to my website here. michaeldemon.com. You can get the access to LinkedIn on there. Shoot, let's go here. So, it's a way we can solve this with a set, huh? Converted. Interesting. I'm trying to think about that. let's say you have like let's say you have well, if I take a set of this, you say if the set, if the length of the set, which is 3, so what if you have 2 t's here? So no matter what, you would take a length of the set, right, which would be TAC. So this would be 3. Valid, you can only have 2 t's, which is just like the 4. If I had like a B here, like the 5, if I had CA. QG, B. You're saying do it by length. I feel like that has a flaw, no? If you do it by length, you can sneak in characters that aren't in there. No? So the length of this set is 3. You're saying the length is, oh, it has to be equal to. This is 2. But what if this was just CT, not BT? Yeah, I don't think they, like BT, right? And ATACH, if you set this, right, this gives you ATCH, which gives you a length of, oh my god, what is that, balls? Oh my gosh. Length of 4, right? If you take length here, this is 2. So, but if this is, instead of BC, if this is AT, well, this can be made. This has a length of 2. Jeez, that is sketch. Length of 2, right? So even though this is valid, so your algorithm doesn't work, dude. I don't think so. Because AT works. Like if you're saying to set this, that gives you this, right? Which has a length of 4. Yeah. If the length of the set is different than the length of the original word, it is invalid. So then you increment the sum. No, you never mentioned that in your description, dude. So in the original one. To do a check, you have to do the check across here, right? So if we go, let's go solutions. They use a counter. So this uses a generator here for all. Is to get the count of the chars. Then for each word, get frequency of its chars. If any of the frequencies is greater than, it's invalid. That's what I was doing before. But I got really slow here because I think I did that, but I was using the counter. Oh, watch this. Watch this, y'all. Watch this. Okay, so instead of... Okay, let's do this. Let's do this instead. Let's go... Wait, what was that? Where's my submission? That one's the really slow. This one's the really slow one. Yeah, dude, I have that in my Discord, Matt. It's my Discord link down below. I've got every resource that I've used. I started with Harvard CS50P. I've got a little link to that in there. I've got a complete course by week breakdown of Harvard CS50X. I didn't start the channel when I did Harvard CS50P because it was my first ever intro to programming, trying to see if I actually wanted to something I wanted to pursue and get interested in. But I did do a weekly follow along of the CS50X course that we completed at the beginning of 2025. We started on January 1st and we completed at the in March. So I have weekly breakdowns in the Discord, and I also have the videos of me watching the lectures on my channel. I'm not sure if people know that. On my channel, I have the re-uploads of my stream where we watch the lectures together, and so you can watch those back, so you can like watch them with a friend rather than watching them alone. Yada 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 yada, you know. Right. So this is what I was doing, right? I was doing this before, so let's put this. Let's go to our other algorithm that we wrote here. Let's grab this guy here. Let's do this instead of doing the collections, and then let's do this here as well. Right, like so. Right. So we get the word counter. Word chars counter is this for... Yeah, it's interesting. I think it might be too now that I'm looking at it, right? We're doing a lot of loops over things. The copy is just creating extra memory. It's not like slowing me down in terms of like speed, really, right? It's just using up more space. For char. Okay, yeah, so that's what they do here. They just create the two maps here. So they create this map. They call the isGoodOn, which takes for char and word, which loops over and does the get on the char count. So this is what we're, and then does the evaluation of greater than or equal to 0. I mean, yeah, whatever. Tomatoes. Hey, dude. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks so much. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all the support. We got a lot of people in here. We got big Twitch crowd and big YouTube crowd tonight. Over almost 50 people here right now. Thank you guys so much for being here. Like the stream, like the YouTube, like the Yamama. I don't know. All right, let's see here. Come on. Please don't do me bad. Don't do me bad. Come on. Oh. Bless. All right. Given a positive integer n, find the sum of all integers in the range of 1 to n, inclusive that are divisible by 3, 5, or 7. Return an integer denoting the sum of all numbers in the given range satisfying the constraint. So if n equals 7, the output is 21. The numbers in the range of 1 to 7 are divisible by 3, 5, and 7 are 3, 5, 6, and 7. The sum of this is 21. This seems really simple. And I say that now, but let's go here. So we just need, right, to have a result, which is we're going to equal to 0 out front. We're going to say for integer in range of, it's inclusive, 1 to n inclusive, so 1 to n plus 1. Right, we're going to say if I divisible by 3 equals to 0, and I modulo 5 is equal to 0, and I modulo 7 equal to 0, then we're going to say res plus equal I, else it doesn't, and we're going to pass on. At the end, we're going to return the res. No, is that? So if yeah, I made a website. I have a website here, michaeldeming.com. You can go to and access some information about me and the communities we have here. You can also go to SpectroSim and see my latest project, where you can access the spin down time. No, bro, render.com. I hate you. Render.com is wrecking me here on my spin down time. Thanks, dude. No, I appreciate you coming in. You're awesome, man. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you for joining me, man. Welcome back. Welcome in, and thanks so much for joining me. You're awesome, man. Okay, so let's see if this works. I think this will work. Bruh. Am I trolling? Do I have something wrong here? If the remainder I Oh, 15, gotcha. 15, 21, and 27. Yeah, you just gotta add ors here, right? It's because if you add ors, it can either be either one, right? Either or 7, 5, or 3. Not all of them together to be the constraint to hit. Is there an even better solution here? What's this way? Oh, it's just start at 3. Oh, you don't even need to start at 1. That's interesting. So if you start at 3, because there's no point in starting at 1. Right, because that's smart. That's a little optimization you can make. Holy cow. Call a set on numbers. called nums.update.
Sparky says why?
Oh, this is interesting. Oh, wow. That's a cool little hack. Okay, so what you can do here is if you update numbers set to be the range of the 3 skips, the 5 skip, and the 7 skip, and then sum only those values, then, oh, that's so cool. Wow, if you bust it out, if you bust this out in the interview, your interviewer is gonna be like, huh? Wow. Or if you bust this out, what is this? Sum of mth term of k. So m equals to end modulo k. So the integer itself. What? Oh, it used its constraints to like find like an even.
192 says, oh dear lord, please no one ever write code like that. 1DW4 says word, op chars, AABC, set vote, blend, word,
Interesting. So this one used the constraints here to its advantage, I think. Yeah, Squidward. Yeah, I think they're just manipulating the bounds of the problem, no? Well, 10 times, there's 100 times 10 is 10,000. Or is it 1,000? No, 10,000. Interesting. All right, that's 2 problems down. Let's go ahead and shift our focus here for today. So we have solved, drum roll please, I think that's 82. 82 solved. Nice. That's a good number. We're climbing there. Lucky number 100 is coming up, you guys. Right hacks. There's a couple of these LeetCode problems in here that have like some niche like little math tricks to solve them the most optimized way. I don't really like those ones. I like the ones that require you to like use loops or like the pointers or like some sort of coding actual type thing, but like a. Oh, bro. I think I'm done, Squidward. I think we've got to shift focus here. It's already 9. We've already been going an hour and a half here. Okay, let's go to the... Or should we do another one? Let's do another one. Why not? Okay. Okay, let's see here on the today's medium. You're given an integer array of nums, a size of n where n is a multiple of 3, n is a positive integer. So the size of the array is a multiple of 3 and always positive. So you can't have 0. Divide the array of numbers into 3 sizes of the array into n divided by 3 arrays of size 3 satisfying the following condition. The difference between any 2 elements in one array is less than or equal to k. Okay, so do we need to do a binary search then across this array after we... Well, if... Well, no, we need to sort. Right? You need to sort based on the bounds of k. So you sort the algorithm, you sort the array. So if you sort the array, right, and then iterate from there going forward, if you find a point between two numbers, okay, so let's think about this. So let's say if you sort the array and you have like 1, 2, and 3. Well, in the best case scenario in a sorted array, well, actually in the best case scenario is all the numbers are the same, right? So like, let's just say 2, 2, 2. Right? You have, in the best case scenario, the array is all the same number. So, right, you just divide it and then you just get back equal portions, right, of the same number, okay? But in the next case of the array, right, of the sorted array, hey, Zephyr, how's it going? Welcome in. I appreciate you, man. Welcome back. Hey, we crossed 1,000 views on this stream. Oh, Haxer, it says that the problem mentioned that specifically that you can only use, once you use a character in the char string, then that character is no longer able to be used. So you have to keep a count of the values basically in the map. I don't know. Is it a bot? Is it a troll? Is it actually a person? Why do we have a bot in here? What is that? Okay. Okay, so in the other case of the array, you get numbers that are right next to each other. So if k is 2, let's think. Okay, so let's say result is going to be equal to an empty array, right? We're going to say, let's just call nums.sort. And then let's say for... So I'm going to go like this. I could do it with slicing, but there's probably a better way. So how can we evaluate every number for I in range of n minus 1? N is going to be the length of nums. J. The thing is you need to know how long these arrays are. So an array size of positive 3. So it can either be a size of 3, 1, stream was mid. What is this? This is a troll. Okay. So if we want to have 2-pointer, but we need to evaluate how far the 2-pointer moves. Okay, let's do this. Let's take a slice of the array. Nums slice. Start will be I. No. Work around slicing. Maybe, okay. So if we slice off, so if we go here, range n minus 1, n, with a skip of n, 3. Right, so I will skip. Now, if you take a slice of I at every single time and then say for if num, let's do this. Let's say temp equals to this. If temp index of 0, is it absolute value? Is less than or equal to 0, or less than or equal to k. So if the absolute value of temp 0, well, we could just do temp index of -1 less temp 0, and then just do this less than or equal to come on, don't do me like this ever. What is this? What is this? This is troll, man. What is this? This is crap. I can kick this guy out at any time. Anytime. I own this thing. Okay, if temp is less than equal to, we're going to res.append the temp. And then so if the maximum of this temp array subarray is less, right? If minus the minimum, just based off that alone, if that is less than or equal to k, then this is valid. So yeah, and I know it's a bot. It's just funny. What? The length is always a multiple of 3. Okay, so why? Okay, let's think. So we're starting at 0 up to n. So I becomes 0. We're taking an index of 0. With a skip of n divided by 3. right? So if I just put skip here, print temp and see what I'm getting back. Okay, so we're getting a float back on the division here. So let me go int on that guy. Okay, now we're back to this. So let's say this. And do we have to account for this edge case? Let's go into a skip. Okay, so for I, we're starting on index 0. We're taking a slice of 0 up. Oh, not to the end. We need to go to the skip. Do we go up to the skip value? No. I plus the skip value, I think. Okay, we just have a slight bug. Okay, if so this one worked. Why did this one not work? So I outputted an array here when I shouldn't have. Why can't I output an array here? Zero, zero, one. Why does this not work? The difference between any two elements in one array is less than or equal to k. Well, k in this case is 2. Sorting this array gives me I sorted the 5 and the 4 out together into their own subarray. Huh. This one worked. Okay, we have a skip. We're going to slice on I to I plus the skip. Plus 1. Do we need to go one further to include? No. So why Why didn't that one work before on those other ones? What was I doing wrong here? So this is doing I. N divided by 3. Oh. Oh, arrays of size 3. My bad. Reading comprehension error. Is that what you... So the arrays can only be of size 3. Sorry, my fault. Right. We're going to try to do this, right? Except for a value error, or except for an index error. Right, we're going to return, we're going to continue. So if we get the index error, we're going to continue and move past this slice. List index out of range. Oh, continue. Try to get through this. Okay, so we try to slice, except if we get an index error, meaning that we can't slice. Why did we get an index error here? List index out of range. My list index is out of range. So it got that. So then I guess let me just throw this inside of here. But I don't think that's going to solve the problem that I'm getting here because right? Oh no. He's back. The bot's back. Hey, how's it going? This is Python. Lollyboy, I appreciate you for joining me here. How's it going, dude? Welcome. Okay, so catching classes numbers not allowed. So if I do this, I'll call print temp here. Okay. Okay, for I in the range of, not to the skip, so the skip, we're dividing it into n divided by 3 arrays of size 3. So then I just need to skip forward every third value, right? I don't need, and then I slice from there forward. So then if you skip every third value, slice I from up to 3, and then let me print temp here. What do I get here? One one three zero zero two 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 two. What am I doing? Temp equals to this. Am I like being dumb? Am I not seeing like something that really easy? Because why am I not getting outputs here on my range function? That's so strange. Why am I getting... Oh, I'm so dumb. Come on, Mike. Dude, you were doing it before. What are you doing? Come on, man. Don't be dumb. Think. Think, dude. Such a goofball. Okay, let's get rid of this. Let's bring this back into play. Get rid of this guy. Bring this back in. If this, right, else, and then return. Oh. Oh, okay. No, if we want to return the res. We want to return, oh, what do we want to do? We want to return, if you don't get it, we don't want to append, we want to append. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go like this. Count plus equals 3. We're going to go here and say count equals 0. I'm going to say return the res if count is equal to n. Else blank array. Okay, so this increment is set by 3. So you have to kind of keep a length. Okay, hold on. If we find one that's not, we'll just return. Actually do this. I'm being dumb. My brain's slowing down. We've been doing this too long, you guys. we got to take a break. Okay, so we could just say else return just an empty array right off the here, because we don't even need to continue forward and do the rest. If you don't ever hit this, you'll return res at the very end of the loop. I think that'll do it. Yes! Come on, baby. Nice little medium to top off the night. Let's go. That one really wasn't that bad for a medium. I never really once felt like lost, like I have on some of these other mediums. Like I always kind of knew, like I had some bugs I had to work through, but I always kind of knew where to, like to go to, or at least the flow of the problem. Woo! Let's go. What's this guy here? Oh, you don't even slice. You just do index. That's smart. Or else, oh, and then append the slice. Okay, so you can improve it a little bit, right? That's smart. So you can improve it a little bit. You don't need to do this. You can improve it by, instead of taking the slice right off the jump, you do this if temp of I plus 2 here is less than temp of I, right? 2 values ahead of I, then you'll append the result, which will be, this is going to be of nums. This is going to be of nums, right? You'll append the result of nums. This time you'll slice I to I plus 2. I thought I wanted to do every third value, you know? Yeah, every third value. So I thought, because you exclude on the slice. This is the index, right? This is slicing, which is exclusive, which is why we have to do that there. Am I missing anything else? Hey, 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 okay. That one wasn't too hard. Okay, cool. Nice, you guys. Feels good on that. All right, let's go over to what should we do next? That's the thing. If you guys are new here, thank you guys so much for being here. We got 40 people over on the YouTube. We're at 1,500 views for the evening. So awesome. Thank you guys truly for being here. We're almost to 2,400 subs. We're 6 away. So if you're new, consider subbing along. I stream every single day, me teaching myself how to code from scratch. I started about a year ago learning completely from scratch in Python with Harvard CS50. And then I have started learning. I started with Then Read Python Crash Course. I started the channel by reading this book out loud on stream, and then I started to build my own projects and read data structures and algorithms in Python. I've created an entire like roadmap or like learning flow in my Discord, link down below, completely for free. I have not paid $1 in terms of my learning so far. I have a theory that you can learn and teach yourself to code completely for free online. I think that a lot of the college textbooks and stuff, what they teach in college, is already found online. And so if you are persistent and headstrong and able to gain skills in teaching yourself things, you can gain a collegiate level computer science education from textbooks. Obviously there will be some limitations in there with networking and the experiences you have, but in terms of the content, it's all found in those core curriculum, those textbooks, and those all those whatever. So anyways, I appreciate you guys for being here. My name is Michael. I'm 26 years old. I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. We are actually starting to look for dev jobs here within, or trying to bridge that gap using our current projects of SpectroSim and chromaplot.com. Right, this is chromaplot.com. So these are our current projects that we have live on the web that you can visit right now. Just know that they are hosted with the backend on render.com. So your first response, if you cold start the server, basically will be kind of slow, but after that the responses are very, very fast. So like you could type in aspirin here, boom, you get aspirin, and there you go, you get its spectrum graph, right? And you can zoom in and download it. It's really nice. And so it's a pretty cool project we got so far. And then this is my my resume information, my personal site that we made using React. So it's pretty nice. I got my projects here for the channel, and then our communities, which is really awesome. So I think I wanted to take a second here. Let me open up my Chrome. I need to go to my resume. So yesterday we worked on the resume. So I think I'm done with the LeetCode for today, you guys. If you guys are waiting for another problem, I apologize, but I don't think I'm going to do anymore. We solved 3 problems tonight, so very productive night. If you guys are wanting to go back and see me solve those problems, just rewind the stream. I solved 3 problems back to back to back. Okay, 2 easies and 1 medium. Okay, so this was my resume that we chalked up yesterday, right? So I got some feedback from a recruiter to include my previous position. So yesterday we removed my previous position, my pre-promotion, right? So I was promoted from a scientist 1 to a scientist 2. And from the recruiter's point of view, she thought I only had 1 year of work experience. And so she was a little confused why I was asking for what I was asking. So that's okay. We're just going to head and change this up to 2022 February to December 2023. Right? And then in January 2024 to current, which is June 2025, we were right. Okay, so we added that back on, which is nice. Yeah, so that's what we're trying to, we're really trying to just play around with things and see what kind of works and what doesn't. People suggested that we use some other templates. I didn't really want to use some really popular resume templates because I'm a little bit torn on. I wonder what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Let's have an honest conversation. Where's the coding? Bro, we've been coding. We finished coding. We've been coding for the past 2 hours. We're working on resume stuff now. If you guys want to see me, I solved 3 LeetCode problems tonight, 2 easies and 1 medium. If you want to see me solve those, just rewind the stream and watch the earlier hour, 2 hours. We are a portion of the stream moving on to working on the resume because we are starting to apply for some dev jobs, you guys. I'm starting to use our projects here and my experiences and my LeetCode solving skills to, if I have any, that is, to start searching for maybe some dev jobs, which is really cool. So currently we were suggested like to include the pre-promotion, right? So we're going to include that February to December 2023. February 22 to December 2020. February 2023 to December 2023. Yeah, so a year and almost 2 years. And then this one is currently January 2024 to a year and a few months, 6 months here, right? Okay. And then we were also trying to figure out the sizing, right? We had to like cut because we wanted to keep it to 1 page, but some people say 2, some people say 1. It's really a trick toss-up. Okay, I also wanted to reduce these down. These are too big, I think. 14, I think is fine. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of spacing here compared to... Yeah, that's exactly the one I was referencing. How do you pronounce your name? Iotaku? Sorry, dude. Everyone, when I was first like drafting this up yesterday, like literally within the first probably 10 minutes, I had about 3 or 4 or 5 people tell me to just use Jake's resume template, and I was like, interesting that just right off the bat that one was so universally adopted, and I'm curious. I have 2 feelings about that. I'm kind of on the fence. I want to know what you guys think. A part of me feels like, okay, if that's a well-known template, then it obviously has some validity to it and getting the job done and providing the necessary information. And so there is some backing to that. And there also could be recruiters are familiar with it, so they can find the information and parse it out easy. But then a part of me also feels that if you have a resume that looks and structured just like everybody else's, right, then your projects might not like look as unique, or your experiences might not really look as unique, because just the way it's drafted psychologically to a human, if they've seen the same framework like 100 times before, then it's interesting to like kind of like think about the human psyche. We're trying to break down the human psyche behind recruiters. That's what the CS job market has come to, you guys. The computer science, the job market has come to where you're trying to, in general, I guess, the job market, you have to try to reverse psychology the recruiter. Oh my gosh. What's that noise? Oh, it's it's my phone. Why am I getting like calls? Sorry, there's a ton of chats here. I'm getting lost in the chat. Let me get caught up here. I'm sure you've heard of Rosalind.info. You could include all your job information up into your resume's 2 pages, only start trimming once you spill onto the 3rd page. I once was on an interview panel for this person. They had a resume, I think it was like 7 pages long. Like, my manager gave me the printout, and it was like a packet. I was like, this is it? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, so I've gotten responses with Jake's template that everyone's using. I changed stuff up and gotten less responses, so hopefully it didn't ruin anything. But I think the market is fairly cooked for junior devs. Ideally, they're simple enough to read just at a glance, but you're not going to stand out if it's 100% the same. But at least you'll know it'll get through to a human most likely and not get auto-rejected. I encourage you to Google Awesome Bioinformatics GitHub for some fun inspiration. I'll send you a couple of companies to look into via Discord or LinkedIn. You need at the top saying who you are. Yeah, I had that on my other one, but I wasn't getting any hits like at all. So I do have like my website here that they can go to get like the about, right? They can go to michaeldeming.com and just get a quick little about, you know. I feel like having a little like maybe that's more of like a cover letter thing, right? Having the like a small like even every amount of real estate really counts, right? That's what I've kind of come to learn with these is like every amount of real estate. So I'm gonna make this. What is this? Make this one more 20. There we go. Okay, so would there ever be really any benefit to having some different looking resume? I guess it would depend on how good the different template is. From the future, nice dude. What time zone are you in? I was a tech recruiter for 4 years, but it wouldn't make a huge difference. It's all about keywords and experience. Oh, did you chat earlier, Sinesh? Let me look back. Did you say something earlier? Well, what do you think about this, Sinesh? Thanks for jumping in here. I appreciate you. You're awesome, dude. Man, we're at 1,700 views on the stream so far. Thank you guys truly. If you guys are new, consider subbing. We're 3 subs away from 2,400. This is my most viewed stream yet. This is awesome. I don't know. Thing is to get past the ATSs too. This resume gets the job done, I guess. Hey man, I just started learning Python myself. I've been watching videos of BroCode, the 12-hour video. Nice, dude. Yeah, I watched the BroCode React when I was learning React. So I last night, just off of this resume alone, I did like send out a few applications, and I actually do have a screening on Friday with a recruiter. So it's with a startup for a software engineer chemistry role. It's just a screening. I'm not sure how it's going to go really, but I'm just going to take the Zoom call and say hello and introduce myself and see what's going on and answer some questions. But just off of my one little session so far, I did get one screening off of this resume so far. So also, in my opinion, it might be worth having the header links printed out in case they're not looking at it digitally. I would recommend to put a technical skills section at the front end, tech stacks and back end, database, etc. Not hacking bad. Well, the thing is, Haxer, is I feel like I have to have some projects on here to show that I can code. Like, my mentality is that CS majors aren't even being able to find work. So what makes me think I can get a software engineer job if I can't demonstrate at least I can code? Like the CS degree, like it has some sort of at least coding merit, although some CS majors can't code. But code tests? Oh, brutal. Yeah, it's interesting. So it's more of like, I think my chemistry and my biology background as a wet lab chemist and intertwining that with programming really helps. I actually, on my Reddit, I have Michael Deming Reddit. I don't have a Reddit r/, just my account. Someone responded to me when I was talking about like, you know, some sort of, I replied to somebody about like they were confused on maybe a career path. I mentioned maybe coding and intertwining that with biology in the r/biotech. Or lab rats or something like that, and someone's replied to me and said that's exactly what I did, and I've been doing it for like 15 years. And it sounded like there's a need. He said that there is a need for wet lab chemists that know programming, that can provide the wet lab experience, because he said that when you get with developers that don't have the wet lab, they don't realize things that are and aren't possible, or aren't feasible, or like limitations in rooms of error or human error, or like those types of factors that play into like automating lab processes. And so when you have those perspectives, it can be a lot more beneficial. I don't know. Yeah, that's exactly, Muna. That's what I was having the project. I feel like I have to have. That's why I waited to do this until I built these projects, because I have to showcase some amount of coding skills for a dev job. Like I can't just. Unfortunately, this just isn't enough. Like this just doesn't show any dev skills, right? So, or coding skills. So do you think I should put the education section after the employment and put the projects at the bottom? Or what do we think about it so far, you guys? What do we feel? How we feel? Let me zoom in here. How do we feel so far? Hey, Physics, Apex, I appreciate you coming. I've been teaching myself how to code for about a year now. I stream every single day around 7 p.m. PST. I have a Discord link down below in the description if you want to get access to my roadmap of learning completely for free. Every resource I've used, every book I've read, course I've taken, outlined for you there for free, and my own personal notes on those matters as well. Okay. So if anything, maybe we could extend the project to include one more project. Maybe we'll include the small business manager, right? We could include the small business manager. That would push our education off to the second page, and then we could have a skills section on the second page, maybe. Or what we could do potentially is we could add in a short about at the top, just like a 2-sentence about. That'll push the projects and education off to the second page, and then we just have the about, the employment experience, and then on the second page we have education, we have projects, we have education, projects, and skills. Or we move projects to the second page, we put a small about, we keep education at the bottom of employment experience to kind of show that timeline. Yeah, me too. I mean, it looks pretty good. I think we should give it a try with what we have, and we can always alter it if we aren't getting hits, right? Okay, so you want a skills section. Like an about and skills. Like, so I could say like, I don't even know, like, shoot, we could be like, nice, Declan.
Ah says, game recognizes Gamuelcom. Muna let's cook. Zephyr says.
No, not the
Can you
bot.
hear? Ah
The
says,
bot's back.
Zephyr.
No.
Hello there, yes, I'm here. How can I assist you today? Bye.
No.
Muna says, Ah bot Lameo, I'm just a student speculating.
I gave the bot a timeout. It's trolling me, man. We got 50 views right now. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me. Okay, so we've got the resume here. It looks pretty good. I think what we should do,
Zephyr
like,
says Brock gave timeout to that. Zephyr said.
I think we can. Let's try our, like, this is V1. Like, let's try V1 and let's see, like, if this works and if we get any bites, any hits, and then if we need to come back and add like a skills and some more like key items. Like, I've really tried to like outline some key skills here in terms of programming, matplotlib, JavaScript.
And Burst Clip says, is that your cat?
Is that my cat?
Zephyr says, bro, that was mine.
I'm confused. What? Oh, was the Zephyr? Are you the bot? Do you bring the bot in here? It seems to come back whenever you come in here. Okay, so let's give this a go. So let me see what that recruiter suggested. Because there was this chemistry recruiter I sent this to.
Ayaku says, having some of the skills bolded out like you have it is probably decent, but some resume parsers look for a skills section and auto add tags and stuff from it. Zephyr says June 18th, 2025. Zephyr says yep I did. And Burst Clip says I hear something purring in the back or on your mic.
Oh, it's this candle. And it's a woodwick candle. Okay. I suggest you maintain full resume with all your experiences or projects you have worked. I'm not sure about others, but that's how I want to see a profile with the candidate. That's what she said. Because what I didn't have my pre-promotion on here, so it only looked like I had a smaller amount of work experience when I have, a couple more years.
Also, are you currently working 2 jobs? I just saw 2 currents lol.
Yeah, so I currently work. I built this software for this company, Birdie Rose Clothes, to manage their entire business suite, basically, for managing their inventory, sales, expenses, and auto generation using double entry accounting of business annual reports.
Zephyr says just let me know when timeout ends.
Oh, got you. Sorry, my bad. I think it was just 25 minutes. It's hard with the TTS because it kind of talks a lot. It like makes some really long messages. So what was I saying? So yeah, I built this for this owner of this business for her, and then I currently manage and maintain it for her, and then it's an open source project right now where the community members here, you guys, if you guys want to, in my Discord, you guys can access this project, this Python GUI using Tkinter, and you guys can add and make contributions to it. Like, what's his name? Aurorasaur in here. He comes into the stream. He's already contributed, I think, 2 or 3 times to it. He implemented auto file he implemented like a better file management system for it.
What you just said should be at the top, which it is, but not like you said.
What do you mean? So, the
says dang 25 minutes.
I keep losing my train of thought.
92 says, I'm currently etc.
Oh, got you. I had that on here, but I yesterday, but I removed the bullet point because I didn't have enough room. I had a 4th bullet point on here that had that on here, where I serve as this is my open source where I serve as a project manager, but I also serve as where I continue to work as the and improve the project. So Aurora he implemented a part of the program where it actually now, instead of having to link up the file directory by the user while having to do it manually, it automatically syncs up based on the operating system and then just nests it within the user's, like, the user, actually, like the login user kind of like those like cache files that the user actually is associated with. So in your like profile on your operating system. So it's like it's protected, and it's not as more manually, like there's no manual like pasting in the path for the database. It happens automatically now. So that was a really awesome improvement he made, as well as some other ones, which is really cool. So you guys can access the open source project of the Small Business Manager Community Project in my GitHub. Oh. Right, which is this guy here, the Small Business Manager Community. So this is the project that we wrote for Birdie Rose Clothes. You can access I have a demo on my website here, on my YouTube.
Welcome back, everybody.
So it's really pretty cool. This was also our CS50X final project. I killed two birds with one stone. I submitted that for my final project too. Well, you guys, I appreciate you everybody for being here. I think I'm gonna call it for today. It's 10 p.m. We've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Today was really awesome. We just kind of polished up the resume here. I'm going to use this as our current iteration. I'm going to use this as our current iteration, and then if we want to add on any additional things and make any improvements on it, I will. Hey, we hit 2,000 views for this stream. This was my most popular stream I've ever had. So thank you guys truly for coming in here and stopping in and saying hello. 2,000 total views across the stream is really, really awesome. Thank you guys truly for hanging out with me here. You guys are awesome. And I forgot to turn on the monetization the whole time, so that's great too. Oh well, doesn't matter. Anyway, so we'll use this as our first go. If we want to make any improvements, we will go ahead and do so. We'll just kind of get feedback. If we get any feedback, we can alter. But let me know if you guys think I should change anything like drastic on here. Please message me in the Discord. Just, I threw this in the Discord and said tear it apart. So you guys can join my Discord, linked down below, and get access to all of my resources and chat. We also are planning an upcoming community project called the Whackathon, where we'll build actual project together. I'm currently planning that out right now off stream. And so, yeah, it's really, really cool. I think it was your mom, right? The clickbaity title. That's what got the stream popping this time around. Anyways, so let me know, guys. Truly, I'm open for any feedback you guys have for me. If you guys have experience with this, I'm just trying to just submit some resumes out and see if I get any bites. If I do, then sweet. If I don't, then we'll reevaluate what we need to change and do from there. But I appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me. Let's go ahead and go on to the Twitch. We solved 3 LeetCode problems today, 2 medium, or 2 easies and 1 medium, not 2 mediums. I'm not that. What is going on here? All the IRL streamers taking over. Bro, this chick, this lady, she's got 1,600 viewers and she's just laying in bed. She's just laying in bed. I'm not hating. I'm not hating at all, I promise. But she's just laying in bed. 1,600 people watching someone lay in bed? Oh, and Ambivalent Bunny. She's one of our friends. We'll go ahead and rate here. Yay, I'm happy she's on. She's subbed to me, I think. Let's go ahead and do a raid here. She's really cool. Yo, yo! Hey!
How is learning going? How's learning going for you? Michael, a biochemist looking
Hey!
software engineering. Awesome. Have you been applying to jobs? I've been
Just
trying to apply to jobs recently, and it's so tiring. It's so tiring. Good luck, good luck. Keeping my fingers crossed for you. Yeah, I'm scared too. And to be honest, that feedback I got actually really discouraged me recently.
oh no.
Thanks so much for the follow to KuCast. I appreciate it. Yeah, so the feedback I got from the recruiter really discouraged me because that was not how I remember the interview going. And yeah, and I just feel like
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure there was some sort of mix-up because yeah. But
Dang, she seems pretty shaken up about it.
writing cleaner code and working on problem solving. Thanks so much for the follow, Michael. Thanks so much for the follow, KB Didlow. I appreciate it. Yeah, but it was actually,
Interesting.
I guess, like, for me, it definitely was kind of like, I almost feel like I'm being gaslit.
Oh, really? Wow.
The minutes. Oh, so I need to call a server now.
All right.
Okay, so I need to call a server now. Got it.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow back at the normal time, 7 p.m. PST. We'll continue on with some LeetCode solving. Hopefully, start up a new project. I have an idea of a project I want to start and get building on. I think it'll be pretty cool. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please join and sub along, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.